Hey folks, and welcome back to Mashinky, the 5th era, though we're still in the 1st. We're looking over Irvine here as one of our trains is pulling in, the bullet in quotations. Irvine not quite expanding the way we would like. It's sort of building out here naturally. And so there's a few new buildings that aren't in our catchment range, which means we are not going to be earning passengers for them. You can see the range here, so we've got... This is just a yard for a building, so we've got one building outside of it. Not much we can do. I mean, there isn't really much... They sort of capped off the roads with these natural buildings. What I'm thinking of doing is building a road out here and down and maybe across and over here, just to kind of encourage maybe some buildings over in this direction, because I believe the buildings always build next to a road, and they will naturally extend roads kind of as they see fit without any of our interference, but we can also build our own roads. So if we were to build something, say, out here... Oh wow, 108? Really, for a road? I thought it was cheaper than that. Oh, I think we're changing this to an intersection, which is the expensive part. Yeah, I mean, just building a road itself is fairly cheap. Okay, we might have to come back to that, because I'd like to spend our money this episode on some new trains, because we are not hauling our new industry goods as fast as we should be, so we're not earning as many tokens in the timber and coal area. Baltimore, on the other hand, while it's been fairly cooperative to this point, I don't like seeing these roads out to here. Now, demolishing them is fairly expensive, so we can't do that quite yet. 50, I guess, not bad, but the intersection's much more. But I will maybe encourage some building in our direction. Yeah, I think I will build this kind of down and around. I'll leave one gap so houses can, you know, build next to these, and maybe start with something like that. I feel like the catchment area isn't quite accurate, but I don't know, we'll see. I mean, they could still totally build all around here, in which case we'll miss out on them, but hopefully they'll also build, you know, along this new road here and stay in our range. Okay, so that's all I'm willing to invest on that for now. El Paso, for some reason we're not getting the full box here, which is a little frustrating because I'm not really sure what we have to work with until a house already goes down. This is something where, unfortunately, the road is turned, so I think we're going to get another expensive intersection here. Yeah, it's just too much. But I think I would like to build this down and around through here. Now, you know, I'm kind of assuming the roads have to touch, but maybe they don't. Maybe if I did just build a road here, they would build around it? I mean, it's only 23 coins. I'm just going to throw that down, and if something goes up, then we'll try and work it in a little bit more seamlessly than that. But I don't know if it's possible for them to build here or not. I just sort of assumed not, but I don't know why I think that. Okay, well, let's start at the base of what we got going here. Well, actually, I think it's better to start at the end in terms of how much more we could be hauling. A little bit of a wait here for loggers. We've got 2 people coming into the station. This is a station we might expand to 2 tracks as we get a few more trains coming in. Here's timber coming in. And timber is not quite able to keep up with this. This doesn't tell me... Oh, it does tell me how much it produces. Okay. So each year this is producing, let's say, 70. That looks fairly consistent given we're in the middle of 1937. Timber, on the other hand... Wait a minute, you're transporting this many per year? I find this hard to believe. So you will catch up to this station. Okay. Logger. So I guess timber is enough at the moment to keep up with the sawmill. It just... You know, the sawmill probably built up a stock before timber arrived for the first time. So we can pretty much count on 105 for you every year, logger. And this forestry over here is producing, well, not much. You're producing more than that already, and we can expand this fairly cheaply. Well, I say that, but we're not making our money yet. Okay, let's get the trains going first. Yeah, we'll get the trains going first. We'll start with an additional logging train, and we'll use one just like logger. I think you are the Baldwin? No, you're only using 1 per. Going 40. which I'm fine with because I would like to keep the trains that are running the same lines identical. Because when it comes time to replace them, maybe we do it all at once, and it's just a little bit easier if we're replacing the same train in each instance. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. And the nice thing is when you duplicate a train, which you do by selecting the depot, and then that duplicate button will be here as long as you have the info button selected. That will also copy the orders. So that train now has the same orders. Let's see. Go with Bunyan. St. Paul Bunyan. Chopping down trees, or at least moving chopped trees. So off he goes. I'm kind of curious to see how easily he can get over to the line. Oh great, and we got some rewards here. So that's our 6th train, so we'll take those tokens. We've still got the coal mission in progress. That'll happen naturally relatively soon here. We've got the station extensions, which I guess we need 4 of. Somehow we got in the negative for that. And we'll get out of the early steam age and enter the steam age by investing the token amount you see here, which I imagine we'll do by the end of this episode, because we're going to invest here in boosting our timber and coal tokens quite a bit. My concern is actually green tokens, which isn't usually the case, because we only have these 3 cities. Nothing that's really too approachable, unless we kind of build out our main highway line up here and bring Plano into the mix. Or maybe just have Norfolk jump on here and go around. This is sort of a contained loop, which is, you know, could make things a little bit tricky, but I'm sure no problem. Norfolk is kind of a nice shape of a station. Plus it's got a church. Might be worth the investment. But anyway, Bunyan is coming through here, then working his way around here. Into the roundabout. Got the bullet just carrying 10 people. Yeah, we're really... I'm going to speed things up because we need to get some money generation going. We're fairly close to an expansion for Baltimore. Very good chance that it doesn't land in our range, though. So we might be kind of stuck at 14 for a while for Baltimore. Meanwhile, El Paso just expanded, and it looks like it capped off the end up here, which is in our range. Okay, so we'll take advantage of that building. And then from there, they've got nowhere to build but this way, so the next building most likely will be in our range as well. Here comes a full train. Love seeing that. Okay. Alright, so we got enough money here, I think, to get another coal train going. You are, without any extensions even, you are producing about 111 a year. And our old Coley here is able to transport almost that amount. But we'll do one more duplication, because we're going to get some extensions going eventually. So we'll duplicate old Coley. 84, it's pretty much all of our timber tokens. That'll be fine. Yeah, we'll do it. It doesn't cost timber to run anything, so we're not in danger of a train stopping. We'll get you going. You have the same orders. Call you the coal train. Misspell of the coal. Okay. Alright, so you're underway. And it looks like we can transport more timber as well. I thought we got a second timber train. Maybe I must be mistaken. You have produced about 70, although it seems to be going up. I guess because we got a new logging train coming, so that number will be higher. Timber can make that round trip. Yeah, timber should have no problem handling this, but like I said, we've got kind of a stock we need to get through, plus we're going to be increasing this in the near future. So timber, why don't you start? I'm gonna go Jasper, that jumps my head. Used to have a couple of dogs in the family named Timber and Jasper at the same time, so we'll put those two together. And we'll see how busy these stations get. We did add the second platform to the toolworks, which I think will be helpful now that we've got 4 trains coming in here. We did add the freight station to increase loading speed and unloading speed. Alright, they should both get out without a hitch. It's as if they didn't even know the other was there, which is what we want. And we got the coal reward, great. 20 coal tokens. Yeah, we kind of mentioned it last episode that I see this kind of interchange here as a bit of an opportunity for some slowdown. I'm kind of thinking we made a mistake with the coal line. This coal should probably just be more direct and maybe jump through here and do a quick turnaround. Like how sharp... Yeah, I mean, this will be a little tricky, but we've got some congestion we're going to have to deal with here. It might only be once in a while. We could consider maybe a bridge. Let's see, something like this. So for trains that are leaving the sawmill and just going up onto this western line, they can avoid getting onto this part, you know, at all. I'd still keep the turnaround in for anyone coming from the toolworks, although I don't know where you'd be turning around to. You'd probably just be going straight. So this would most likely become unused. Yeah, have to think about it. But we are in... our money seems to be inching up slightly. But yeah, I still think it's a problem. I think we might want to look at investing what we have left into maybe getting Plano, Arlington, or Norfolk. And you know, I'm going to go for Norfolk here. And it's going to be a little bit tight. I'm thinking we'll come in this direction, come out that direction, because there's not going to be a lot of room to come out unless we want to tear through this field. Which I'd be open to doing. Yeah, so we would have, say, a main line coming up here. And then back. Something like that. And maybe we come off this way. More like here, actually. I guess it doesn't matter which side we're on, really, although when we leave, I see us coming south. So that way we can avoid crossing over this road here unnecessarily. Let's just say our station was here. We can get all these coins back if we need to. How much room would we need to come straight down here without interfering with the field? About there. And we would want enough so we could maybe in the future have 2 spots. Or something like that, so maybe our station would be here. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll start with that. And we will increase the catchment area with the waiting room. It's 100 right there. Well, I'll wait to do that until we get a little bit more money coming in. I want to make sure we can finish this line. In the meantime, passengers will start to accumulate. And I'm not too worried about how fast they accumulate, because it'll be a little while before a train even gets here. Okay, so we'll know that we'll get a little bit of money back on these tracks, because we'll just kind of test to see if that would fit okay there. We'll get our exit signal in. Get this as long as straight as possible before it forms up here. Do something like that. Okay. Okay. And our entry signal for the station. So you'll be coming in. I guess we'll just make this a 4-town circuit. That's probably not the worst idea. Norfolk should be relatively busy. And then we could have a third train probably. So what order would be ideal? Right now it goes Baltimore, then up to El Paso, and then down to Irvine. So we would probably want Irvine, Baltimore, El Paso, and then it spins around and comes up this way. And then that way on the way back it could go right into Irvine again. Okay, so we would have to get from this line here up to this northern line. Which is a little tricky. Let's see. Oh, we've got the turnaround here. I guess we'll just utilize that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a little bit longer. We'll utilize that. So it'll be Irvine, Baltimore, El Paso, swing around, and up. And that actually works okay because there could be another train that maybe just goes Irvine, Baltimore, and then up to Norfolk here. Okay, so the question will be, how does this Norfolk train get back onto this main line here? And coming from down here, actually, that maybe we do want to switch our exit point for this stop. I would like to keep the possibility open for the road to come down this way, which I've already destroyed anyway. Okay, I think maybe we want our station on the other side. And let me make sure that I'm not mistaken here. You can't cross a road with an angled track. So if we built on the other side and came in from the bottom and out through the top, then we could kind of keep Norfolk closer to our area. Well, the thing is, either way, we need this road to be able to cross over the station. So I think I am just going to blow through part of this field. When we get to the era where there's farming, yeah, I mean, we're not cutting through too much of it. And let's make sure that something straight all the way to here could still join in. Yeah, so that would be fine. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll just have a long exit to give us plenty of room. And we've got enough coinage here to even kind of start encouraging this right now. Okay. And we're going to expand our catchment area still, so these houses will get in, as will anything out here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So Norfolk Station. So that gives us a little bit more room. We still have a challenge, though, getting back onto the main road. We've got this weird turnaround here. I think we could bring all of this down a bit. So if this kind of came out earlier and then around. And then here. Yeah. So we'll get rid of all of this. Yeah, that gives us just a little bit more space to maybe tunnel through, or maybe bridge through and then link up. I'm hoping that'll be enough, because we can't bring this down any further without maybe changing where the station is, which actually, you know, it's not so bad, except if we have a train waiting, I want to make sure it's waiting completely off the main highway, so I don't want to go any lower here. We'll see if we can get this working. We'll do one right at the exit here. Same here and here, and then here. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll do an 8-1 here. This should go all the way up. And let's see if it was too dim. That would be maybe here. Okay. So where does that put you here? And we could also bring this up a little bit if we need to. But say if we wanted to cross here. Well, we could just make a little tunnel or a bridge here. I think would fit. Say we did a tunnel this way. Well, that would also fit. I think I will do that, except, man, those are expensive. Well, the bridge will certainly fit as well. 158. Okay, I'm going to speed up time a little bit. Get those tokens coming in. Don't remember how much of a loan we've taken out. We can just borrow a bit. Our loan is 1,100. I'm guessing we borrowed 100. How much? Can you borrow 50 at a time? And that increases your loan share. So we're paying 55 a month. And by the way, that's not bringing our loan down at all. So we're paying, by default, you just pay interest. So if you want to stop paying that interest, you need to actually hit the repay button. So we'll borrow one more just so we can get this bridge finished. Yeah, I didn't need to borrow that much, it looks like. Would like to work up to stone, but it's a little bit pricey still for us. So we don't lose that speed. And in fact, I'm not sure if this is going to be able to make this. Okay. Alright, so we got 3 merging into 1 here. Not necessarily ideal, but probably not too big of a deal for us. Alright, so we've got our signals. We've got Norfolk. It is acquiring passengers. Cool, we'll get a train for it. Now... Our inaugural, now 19 years old. I think we might want to look into a new type of train here. We could go with the Baldwin, a little bit faster. Probably good for us given that we're going further. We have to cover more ground. Yeah, we'll try a Baldwin. It'll get stuck behind these porters at certain spots. But we might kind of slowly transition into all Baldwins here. So we'll start with a Baldwin. And passenger car, we'll go with the more expensive one. A little bit more capacity per length and weight, it looks like. And yeah, we'll get as many as we can. So how's our length looking? Pretty good still. Still got plenty of weight. It's just a matter of affording one more. Yeah, we could even get one more beyond this. Well, no, we couldn't unless we expanded our stations, which we're not quite ready to do. We could get by with something more than 6 length, because really it just means you're going to slow down. You're going to slow down the loading speed. But we also have our signals right on the edge of the station, so we're going to have trains overlapping signals, which can kind of lead to deadlocks and things. So I'm going to avoid that and just stick with this. We can't afford another train anyway. And we're going to say your orders are to kind of make the full circuit. You're going to start at Irvine. You're going to hit Baltimore. You're going to go up to El Paso. And then you're going to come all the way to our new station at Norfolk. Go. Here we go. Nice looking train. Nice new cars. Currently empty. I don't think they ever have people in them. But I think that is actually coming as part of the future updates for the game. Kind of more more activity around stations and being able to visualize people and things. Alright, so we are... I don't know if you can hear the background sound, but we are just about out of time here. I'd like to make sure that he can make a complete circuit. And he holds 75, that's pretty good. Here comes inaugural. Holding 48, and by the way, we were wondering in a previous episode what this number is affected by. Because you get a new building when you get to 1,500. This is the number of people dropped off at this station. So you'll see this just went up by 48. I don't remember the previous number. Was it 36? No, that wouldn't be 48. Maybe it was 26. But at any rate, the number you pick up does not affect this number. It's purely drop-offs. So Irvine should only see a boost of 12 here. We should see 11, 12, even though it's got 31 people waiting. Yeah, 11, 12. Okay. Alright, so, and that's the bullet. We've got train 9 coming in behind him. Let's see, train 9. Go with Pork Chop Express. With our conductor, Jack Burton. Yeah, well, we might want to space these out a bit to give each station time. Man, Baltimore's already created 21 passengers in just the time it took, you know, a station or a train right behind another train to get there. Will El Paso expand again? I doubt it. No, but it's getting close. It's up to 10 now. Still got them all. You know, I think we're seeing El Paso expand so fast because Baltimore's our biggest station. So passengers are being dropped off there in higher volume than anywhere else. And here comes Irvine. Did you expand again? I gotta keep better track of that. I do want to... Oh, we still don't have the money. Man, we're hurting on cash. And there goes Pork Chop Express, carrying just 3 people to Norfolk. It's almost like we'd want to train from Baltimore to Norfolk to encourage it to expand faster. Although, El Paso, I think it was just unlucky timing. So here comes Pork Chop. Going alongside Logger, they didn't get in each other's way. It's always good to see. See if this works. As soon as he gets past here and clears that, you should see this signal flip down to say it's clear. Oh, was it already clear? I guess it was already clear. Oh yes, because nothing's past that block. Okay. Alright, here we go. Nice looking little town. One main street. You're picking up 75 people, so this is really going to help Irvine. Although, we're not too keen on expanding Irvine that fast, given that it's expanding in ways that we're not going to be able to take advantage of, most likely. So I think once we get the money, we do really want to build this road out down here and encourage development down this direction. And eventually even maybe bulldoze some houses that aren't helping us, so we can build the road in a little bit more advantageous layout. Okay, so wow, you're up to 185 already. I don't even need to bother with the catchment area. I guess it's worth copying the orders to each of these trains. I'm gonna have one train skip El Paso and go straight to Norfolk. Yeah. And then do I have them all come to Irvine though from Norfolk? I mean, I guess they kind of have to. That's kind of the only way back onto our little city line here, passenger line. No, I think I'll just keep them all the same. The Bullet. We can't really afford a new train yet, so I'm just going to tack on El Paso. Yeah, it'll be easy enough just to tack on Norfolk to these 2 trains here. Inaugural. Getting old. You can see it's got 1 red tick. That means it's going to take... That no longer needs to fill up before it's time to pay the maintenance costs. So each time this arrow fills, it pays 1. And now the arrow just got shorter. Maybe at the 20-year mark. I'm not sure. So for that reason, we will certainly want to change these trains out eventually. Although I expect that our money making will not be a problem in the fairly near future. A little bit of a wait here. Not too bad. Okay. And we've got enough space for a full train to wait here without getting in the way of anything coming south here. So there goes Bunyan. Only carrying 13, so I guess we do need to start investing in an expansion here. We've got the coins for a tree nursery. So right now it takes 1 small arrow to get 1 log. A tree nursery is essentially 2 ticks, even though this is much more than 1 tick, to get another log. So it doesn't quite double, but it increases it by, I guess it would be 50%. So we'll get that. Hopefully that's enough to fill up these trains. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We don't want trains cruising around with half full loads. It's just, we're not getting the most out of them, if that's the case. Yeah, same thing with this coal mine. We have Old Coley here, only 2/3 of a load, so we'll want to expand this coal mine. We can afford a maintenance shed, which will actually double the output, which I think we'll go with, even though it's fairly costly in the green, but... Well, I'll wait a minute, because our trains run on green tokens. You can see it depleting. You know, I'm starting to get concerned that we're not making enough to even support our trains. That would be a disaster. Well, Norfolk at least will provide trains for the foreseeable future that are full. Problem is they're kind of getting old, so their maintenance fees are coming a little bit faster. Well, not this one. You're only 1 year old, pork chop. But inaugural here. You can even see the rust starting to build on the train. But, there goes the bullet. Yeah, guys are coming. They're making a long trip from El Paso with small loads. So that's not ideal. But now that they're all making that trip, that gives these stations a lot more time to fill up with passengers. El Paso will continue to expand. Oh, it just did with a church, no less. But they made it so they can't expand roads on their own now. They've blocked off all of their roads. I don't know if they see this as part of their town or not. We'll find out, I suppose. But the good news is these trains should mostly be going, should mostly be carrying full loads at this point. And we could probably even add a fourth one relatively soon. So Baltimore expanded out to here, which is unfortunate. We don't get the benefit of that building. We've already extended our platform out 2 this way, or just 1, I guess, beyond the station. We could build it down and out a little bit. You know, I'm gonna take a look at that. Here's a... Let's say we had a platform with shelter. This is a little bit... I would think the shelter would be right up along the track, so we'll go with another one of trees and benches. Maybe... Oh, those are kind of expensive. One with plants. So if we build 2, that'll work. I'm just going to go with a cheap one. Okay. All of that for 1 extra building, and now our station's looking pretty unorthodox, but I think we'll be fine with that. And now, if anything builds along here, we can do that too. I'm even going to... He spent 50 to demolish that? No, I'm not going to worry too much about that yet, but I'm tempted to. The bullet not leaving with a full load after all. El Paso. Let's see, you've got the waiting room with the extra capacity. I don't know, but let's get that coal extension. We need to double up our coal. I mean, our tokens are coming in, but we're still running trains that cost green coins that aren't giving us the most for our money. So we'll get that there. So I'm convinced that that'll be enough to keep Old Coley and Coal Train fully stocked on each trip. Bunyan dropping off a full load, I think it was. Now the timber is being produced. Coal Train waiting. Yeah, the priority didn't quite work in that sense. So now you have to stop way back here. That's okay. Yeah, now that I look at it, these coal trains probably shouldn't even be on this line. They should have probably just scooted down here, snuck in a different way. Okay, and Logger is not leaving with a full load. Bunyan, I'm going to have wait, because these guys are getting a little too close together. There's only 2 of them. So I'm going to have you stop here. And I'm going to wait until Logger gets down to the sawmill. So I'm going to speed it up real quick. Let's get to that point. There goes Timber and Jasper. Here comes Logger. Yeah, now that Logger's pulled in, I'm going to, or pretty much pulled in, I'm going to start Bunyan. That'll keep them on opposite sides, so that should maximize the loads they get over here. Yeah, so you should be able to get a full one, it looks like. Yeah, okay, great. And we might be able to expand this even further. We could get a storage. You know, we do have kind of plenty of coal tokens now. We're not using any to power trains yet, so we'll go ahead and invest 80. Just to be sure we've got plenty of, not enough space building in the way. Okay, we'll put it out here. So we'll have plenty of trees now. possibly even enough to support a third train. There goes Pork Chop with 40. Here comes the Bullet with 21. Yeah, we're not dropping off as many from El Paso as I'd hoped. I might consider spacing them out as well. So actually I'm going to have Pork Chop stop for a moment. Actually Pork Chop's faster than everyone, which is kind of a problem because we don't really have any passing areas. Yeah. I think, well, actually, you know what? We have enough money to kind of make 3 Pork Chops now, as opposed to these Bullets. Or maybe even 2 would get the job done. So I think I'm going to retire Inaugural after this stop. Oh, he just picked someone up. Okay, yeah, go to the depot. I'm going to copy Pork Chop Express. Yeah, 110 and 20. Yep, we can afford that now. Or actually, our money's starting to pick up a little bit. It's nice to see. I know we did have it sped up, though, for a bit. Pork Chop Express, Part 2 waiting. Leave him there for now. He's got the same orders. Yep. And I'm also going to get... You're going to the depot, right? Oh, we don't really have a good way to get to the depot. I guess you got to come all the way out there. Yeah. Okay. So he's got to come all the way down around here. I guess that's not so bad. That's fine. So the Bullet, I'm going to have you go to the depot now as well. And we're going to retire both of you. Just because, I mean, we introduced a faster train on the line, so it's just going to be riding on their tails, you know, the entire time. And the Bullet also hit his 20-year mark, so the maintenance costs had gone up a bit. Okay, train 10, go. Which actually works out well. You should be kind of on your way to Irvine as Pork Chop is heading towards El Paso. So you'll be on stop 3 while you're going to stop 1, so you'll be pretty much opposites. There we go. Nice new cars. Faster trains. A little bit more expensive to run, but they're carrying 75 each. Train 10 here. There's a blue. Let's go to the blue bomber. That'll work. Alright, I think we'll pretty much wrap it up here. Next time we will kind of review our industry lines and how many coins we're bringing in. Actually, I said we were going to advance to the next era, and we can do that right now, actually. And we're just going to sell all these, even the old cars. Because we'll probably go with bigger cars next time, and that'll bring in some money for us. We'll get an station extension as well. I kind of like the idea of boosting our profitability here. So we'll get that restaurant. And we're sort of building out the platform so much already. Oh, we could put it here, huh? It's kind of interesting. But we will put it along the track. That seems to make more sense. They can watch the trains go by. We got the depot trains taken care of. We got our reward for building our extensions, even though we had to build more than we should have. We'll go ahead and throw 100 coal coins at that now. And what the hell, timber. We'll go into the steam age. And now we have this new token here, which is iron. And to make iron, we take both iron ore, which is tucked in inconveniently here, although we can now repurpose this spot, and you can see it's already collecting iron ore. I don't know if we want to do that yet, so I'm going to disable that for now. It no longer accepts or produces iron ore. But we can turn that on if we need to. So you take iron ore and coal and you bring that to one of these foundries here. And the foundry will produce iron rods, or iron I guess, which then has to be brought over to a toolworks, which are way down here. So I think we kind of want to look for something in this area. But as far as I can see, our 2 foundries are way up here, opposite sides of the map. So we will probably look at fleshing out this north-south highway line here. There's coal here we could bring right up to the foundry. But the copper is going to probably have to come from here. Maybe we join this northwest line, do a big east and west one here. Could grab some coal for here. Yeah, so we'll probably work our way up and maybe use our money to finish off these main highways and yeah, get our iron going. The new era also unlocks some new trains. So we've got the Prussian T3, which doesn't go very fast, but it operates on coins and can carry a little bit more weight. And it's small, so it doesn't take up as much room. And then we've got this 284 Class 65. Can carry even more weight, but it runs on coal, so you gotta make sure you got coal coming in, you know, fast enough to manage that, especially if you start getting a bunch of these trains running at once. It can really sneak up on you and suddenly your whole network just stops and you're kind of screwed at that point. Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there. I thank you very much for watching. We've got the Blue Bomber and the Pork Chop Express. We've got people waiting at stations. We'll wait to see if we can expand to this mystery road here. And yeah, oh, we finally got on top of the Norfolk. So, oh, it's got a post office too in this, so we might get some postal cars going. I'm going to build one more extension just so we can get these other buildings involved before we go, because otherwise I might forget. Great, so now everything in Norfolk is being caught by our station, and that is where we will leave it. Alright, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.